For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the You and Your Doctor Show, living a longer and healthier life for October 30th, Tuesday, October 30th, 2018. I can tell it's October 30th because on the drive here, there was a lot of traffic. I know the snowbirds are definitely back in town, but we're not going to be talking about traffic tonight. We're going to be talking about concierge internal medicine and a little bit of GI, so gastroenterology. You may remember this guest from May 1st, 2018, where we talked a lot about GERD. That's acid reflux disease. And we didn't talk too much internal medicine that day. That's why I wanted to have him back on. He's Dr. Robert Melliman. Right here in Boca Raton is where his office is located, I believe. And I'm going to ask him here that you're on staff at Boca Regional Hospital as well, right down the street. So Dr. Melliman is unique because he's both a GI gastroenterologist and an internist, internal medicine. He's done the training for both. So without further ado, Dr. Melliman, welcome back to the program. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. It's great to be with you, Dave.
Thank you.
And I'm open to whatever you like to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we always take viewers and listeners on an adventure of health. Our goal with this show is to bring the latest and greatest in health news, and that includes tonight concierge internal medicine, because I've seen a lot of the membership-based programs, and I know this is going to be more of a luxury membership-based program than we've talked about in the past, but that seems to be a model that's gaining a lot of popularity. That's why I wanted to have you on. So, but before we go there, we'll tease the listeners and viewers, and I want to talk a little bit about, so you're board certified in both gastroenterology and internal medicine. That's pretty unique.
Well, it's not unique in that when you do the training, you do an internal medicine residency, and then you can go on to do a fellowship in a variety of different subspecialties.
Okay.
So you need to become board certified in internal medicine, and then you can go ahead and do board certification in your subspecialty. Now, prior to 1990, if you were board certified in internal medicine, you more or less were grandfathered in for life in that specialty. But after 1990, it requires that you recertify, whether it's internal medicine or your specialty, every 10 years. So I've already recertified in gastroenterology 3 times.
Wow.
In internal medicine, I did that back in 1988. So fortunately, I do not have to be recertified in internal medicine. That I'm guaranteed for life.
Nice.
Yes.
And what goes into a recertification process? I mean, general public, we'd have no idea.
It's like preparing for any major test, any large test. You have to spend months preparing, reviewing material, doing, questions, or going online and doing review course material for the examination. And then you have to take an 8-hour examination, which you have to pass, above a certain score in order to be recertified. So there's a certain amount of coursework that's required that has to be submitted, plus you have to take a examination. And that's how you become recertified.
And that's every 10 years for GI, gastroenterology.
For me, yes.
Fantastic. And we're here with Dr. Robert Melliman. I was just sharing us on Facebook because we're live on Facebook Live and All County Healthcare INC's Facebook Live page. So if you want to go back to this show, you can always check us out there, and allcountyhealthcare.com. So if you see me on my computer right here, that's what I'm up to. And there we're on Facebook Live just like that on my feed, because Freddie has already shared it on the other feed. There we go. Okay, back to the program. Now, an internal medicine physician is also known as an internist. This is a term I've ran into the last few years that I wasn't too sure. I wanted to ask an internist when I had one here. So it's the same. Internal medicine physician is also known as an internist, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So for people who are not familiar, if one, let's say, is taking care of both children and adults, that would be a family medicine doctor who does both pediatric care and adult medical care. But when you're talking about internal medicine and an internist, That's someone who practices general medicine, but for only an adult population, or really a population of age 18 and over.
I see. That's the difference. Now, and why is it important for individuals to go to a board-certified internist? So you already did the, you got your certification, you said in 1988, but you did the whole program there to become board-certified. Why not go to someone, say, that's not board-certified? Could I save any money that way or anything? How does that work?
I don't think it's really about money, but I would say that it's not a requirement to see someone who's certified versus non-certified, and then there's people just out of training who are board eligible but not certified yet. But I think it's important because it really does show that a person has achieved a certain level of expertise and has achieved certain qualifications. So it's really a way of looking at someone and saying, has this doctor done as much education as they can to become proficient in their specialty? Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to do, and I would encourage doctors to achieve certification if they haven't in the past.
Yeah, definitely. And you've done the actual testing to show that you're proficient in internal medicine there to get the certification, and same thing with GI. So like you said, it's not about it's not about saving money or anything. It's about going to a doctor who's shown through testing, a third-party testing, that they are proficient in the area of interest that they practice. So that is great news.
And you know what? Education in medicine is a lifelong effort. I have medical students that rotate with me from Florida Atlantic University, from the medical school. I really enjoy having them. And I can tell you that when they meet with me each week, and I've been doing this for 7 years now with the medical school, every week I give them assignments, I give them reading materials, they come back the following week, we review materials. I'm constantly doing continuing medical education online through the American College of Gastroenterology. There's always material online. There's coursework that you can do. And I enjoy it. And I think it's important that all physicians continue to be as involved as much as they can in their education. It doesn't stop when you finish school. It's forever.
That's great. And you mentioned continuing medical education, also known as CMEs. I know this. I help run a grand rounds for a healthcare organization. One of the things I do in the PR and marketing world, but I do work with doctors in the program there. And kudos also to FAU, great medical school. It's just built over the last decade or so. I went to FAU, graduated 07 multimedia journalism. So I'm so fascinated with what's happened with that program and all the doctors involved. I mean, you guys and gals, dedicating your time to the next wave of the future of medicine right here in South Florida. So I'm always happy to hear that. I didn't know that about you, so I'm glad I asked and you shared that. You mentioned before your fellowship, it was in gastroenterology, correct?
Correct.
Okay, where did you do your fellowship training?
At Winthrop University Hospital in Mineola, Long Island.
Nice.
Which is an affiliate of Stony Brook Medical School.
Okay, what about fellowship is the last thing you completed before practice, and then before that is that residency?
Yes.
Where's that?
I was at Albert Einstein in the Bronx.
Oh, wow. Very important hospital. That must have been something else.
That was a battleground training.
Yeah. You saw everything, huh?
That was rough.
Why did you decide at that point? So you've seen it all as a resident. Why did you decide GI and internal medicine?
Well, that's a great question, Dave. I can tell you that, one of the reasons I chose to go into internal medicine and ultimately gastro was because I met certain doctors, certain people that had a huge impact on me. I liked their personalities, the way they conducted themselves with patients, their level of knowledge and intelligence. And so I think when you're, in any profession, you meet certain people that motivate you. And so that's kind of how I went that direction. The reason I chose to go to Einstein in the Bronx was I wanted to have a city hospital experience where I would really get to have hands-on experience and be the doctor helping the patients.
Wow. That must have been something else to see that firsthand. Did you also do your internship there as well?
Yes, internship and residency.
Yeah, those two going hand in hand. What about medical school?
I went to Stony Brook.
Okay.
State University of New York at Stony Brook out on Long Island.
Nice. I always like to ask because, people find that fascinating, the education and training. And, they may know someone who's went there, or they may, have lived in the area. We have a lot of...
Well, the other added benefit to going to Stony Brook was I met my wife there.
Oh, great.
So I was a second-year medical student, and she was a fourth-year undergraduate. And one of my friends in med school and I used to go to the undergraduate campus with all of our big fat textbooks, because we didn't have computers back then, which was 1981. And we'd go to the library, throw the big books down, and then some of the cute, intelligent girls would look and say, oh, wait, maybe that's a medical student over there. And I happened to actually meet my wife in the library of the undergraduate campus.
Nice.
And then she, 2 years later, was accepted to medical school there. And so she also was at Stony Brook Medical School 2 years behind me. And now my wife is the medical director for the breast cancer center here at Boca Regional Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I actually took a tour of it a few years
Isn't
ago.
that incredible?
Yeah,
What a
is
beautiful
great.
facility.
It really is.
So she's the breast health specialist for Boca Regional Hospital at the Christine Lynn Women's Center.
Well, I'd love to have her on. I heard she might be listening, so...
Well, she's a much better speaker than I am.
Okay.
And she's on the regular lecture circuit for Boca Regional Hospital.
Well, you're hitting it out of the park tonight. I was going to say we got to get you your own show because you have a nice, comfortable delivery. No, really. Some people are, can do radio. I'm kind of a blabbermouth. I keep talking forever sometimes, so I think that's why I'm sitting in this chair. But it's nice to have someone, you got a nice flow, and hey, you never know. That could be a thing. And you're all about continuing education, and that's why we do this show. We want to bring the latest and greatest in health to the masses. We got about less than a minute. I'm going to take a commercial break. But I do want to get to concierge internal medicine. I'm probably going to start it on the other side of this break because we have a lot to get into in the last 15 minutes of the program. But if anyone would like to call in, the number's 1-888-565-1470 or ask the questions on Facebook Live. And if they're appropriate, we'll get them in front of Dr. Melliman. If you have a question, be brief because we only have 15 minutes left or a little less than that. And I'm going to take the commercial break, and on the other side, talk about concierge internal medicine on the You and Your Doctor show.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096.
Getting older is not for sissies. That's what one of my patients says. And it's funny, but it's true. Live long enough and you'll get arthritis, skin cancer, probably one of the common chronic diseases like CHF, COPD, diabetes. At All County Healthcare, we teach you how to manage your disease. We make sure you know how to take your medications and how to recognize signs and symptoms before requiring hospitalization, no matter how many visits it takes. You didn't move to Florida to be sick. You moved here to enjoy the rest of your life. And that's exactly what our team of nurses, therapists, and aides at All County Healthcare help you do.
You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
And welcome back. We're here with Dr. Robert Melliman. He is a GI and internal medicine physician or internist. 1000 Northwest 9th Court, right here in Boca Raton. The number's 561-395-5204, and I'll give that out again. There's some information about Dr. Melliman on the web. It's diamondhealthcare.net. So if you have any questions and you want to go check it out, or we have his info right here on allcountyhealthcare.com and Facebook Live. I see all the Facebook Live viewers. That's great. We're going between 5 and 7, so that's a little higher than normal. So I like to see that. That's great. Dr. Melliman, I'll finally get to what I promised. Concierge internal medicine. What is it and how does it work? The $1 million question.
Well, I think what it really boils down to is providing higher quality service to a patient. So when I changed to a concierge practice, which was about 13 years ago, the reason I did the change was not because I wanted to make more money. I'm making relatively about the same amount of money before and after.
Interesting.
But beforehand, my volumes were very, very high, and I would have to see 30, 40 patients a day. Trying to provide high-quality care, seeing that many people in a day, is nearly impossible to do. So my philosophy at that time was lower the number of people that you would see in a day, give them more time, give them higher quality services, which also takes a huge burden off of the office, which is also an extension of yourself. You're trying to provide the best care that you can, which means a patient has to be able to get to someone in the office to be able to handle their appointments, scheduling procedures, getting test results back, whatever it may be. But if your volumes are very high, it's a very difficult and burdensome task. So my goal was I wanted to be able to practice medicine the way it should be, which means giving people time. They shouldn't be rushed. I shouldn't be rushed. And having ample time to discuss any problems that they have so that they're satisfied, with the visit that they have with the doctor. Very difficult to do if you're trying to knock out 6, 7 people in an hour.
Unbelievable.
And all you need is a few complicated patients who have many different medical problems on many different medications. And how do you really do that in 5 or 10 minutes? You can't get the information, and nowadays have to log that into the computer, be able to discuss with them, examine them, then explain what you're going to do, what are the tests you're going to order, what does it mean, how do you do it?
Yeah, and you don't want your patient to go home confused. I mean, that's
no, not at all.
You want to take the time. I can tell.
Yeah. So the point is that if your overhead in a practice is a certain amount of money per hour to operate your business, you have to generate a certain amount of revenue to cover your overhead expense and be able to earn a certain living. Mm-hmm. So in order to do that, there's no way you can do it seeing 2 or 3 people in an hour just from what you get paid from the insurance company. You would be out of business very quickly. So you can supplement that by having patients pay an annual fee. Now, there's different ways people do that. Some people may choose to pay a monthly fee. Some people pay an annual fee. But there has to be some other source of revenue in order to be able to cover your overhead expense and make a decent living.
Definitely. And I can tell probably a few years ago when you were seeing those 7 or 8 patients an hour, you probably weren't as relaxed as you are right now, because you have you're very, very opening. It's very comfortable. I feel very comfortable around you. I just met you last time we talked over the phone, but yeah.
Well,
has it changed you?
When you're doing both internal medicine, which you're providing care for every aspect of medical issues, social issues, personal problems, family issues. You're trying to do that, and you're trying to do a subspecialty, which is consultative. You're seeing hospital patients, consultations, coming into the office, new patients, and so on. It became so difficult to do that. I was leaving my house 5 a.m., coming home 8, 9 o'clock at night, and always feeling like I was behind the 8 ball, so my stomach was upside down. And I had reached a point, I said to my wife, I cannot continue this pace. And so, there were a group of doctors in Boca who started the M.D.FACP program prior to me, maybe about 7, 8 years prior to that. And it was successful for them. They enjoyed practicing medicine in a concierge model. And that's when the idea came to me. And I said, you know what? I can't continue this way. I'm going to try that method. And for 13 years, it has worked out. The patients that are part of the practice absolutely love it. They get great care. They know all the employees well. And when there's a problem, they get immediate attention. But I have to say, even before I went concierge, I never ignored anybody. And if someone called and said they were sick, I didn't care how many people were on the schedule, they were going to be seen that day. Because every doctor should give to their patients what they would expect for themselves or their family. And that's always been my philosophy.
Definitely. I've actually heard that about you, and that's Dr. Robert Melliman, 561-395-5204, right here in Boca Raton, 1000 Northwest 9th Court in Boca Raton. You're on staff at Boca Regional Hospital?
And Delray Medical Center.
And Delray Medical Center. Great to know. And then is 1009th Court over by Boca Regional?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I thought so. I just want to make sure. So right near the campus, again, Dr. Robert Melliman, it's diamondhealthcare.net. 561-395-5204, and I'll try to give that out again, or you can go on allcountyhealthcare.com or the Facebook page, All County Healthcare INC. Do you think concierge care, like you just described, concierge internal medicine, is the future of internal medicine? Because I can tell, you kind of had a resurgence. I mean, you provided the same type of care, but your health is better. You seem, you're still wanting to learn a lot. CMEs are interesting for you. Do you think that's the future if it can be figured out by some of your peers?
Well, it's growing very, very rapidly throughout the United States, and more primary care physicians are choosing that path. But I don't really know exactly what the future will be with that. There are many people who want better quality care. They can't afford it. They can't pay for it. There are physicians that don't want to follow that method or choose to work for a hospital, work for a large company. So it's not for everybody. And I think there'll always be, a little bit of both. If you look at other, healthcare systems like England, there, you have a state-sponsored healthcare system. But for those people who have some money or want to go into their private system, they have that opportunity to do it. So I think the same thing is true here now, where people who want a different type of medical care, maybe a little bit more time, higher quality, they can reach their doctor when they need them by cell phone. They choose to have that, quality of care. And as you and I talked about actually just before the show, people who choose to go into concierge medicine is not just all about money. It's also about priorities. Because there are some people who I had as patients prior to changing that said, I don't really think I've seen you that much the past year. I don't see the need to pay any additional money. And it wasn't for them. Other people who didn't have as much money, they said, you know what? You're my priority. I need you. I need your help. I want you to be my doctor. And they would maybe take one less vacation per year or choose to, save some money in other areas so they could pay for better better quality care. So a lot of it boiled down to what an individual wants, how they choose to spend their money.
Definitely, and that's their freedom. Definitely.
Exactly.
So does your GI part of your practice also fall under the concierge, or
No,
is that
doesn't.
different?
It
Is that
doesn't.
because you'd probably do call on hospital with the hospitals on GI?
Providing concierge care are services that are not regular services that you could obtain through Medicare.
Okay.
So if someone belongs to CMS, Medicare services, you need to be able to provide some type of service outside of that care to qualify to do concierge services. So if you're providing your cell phone number, if you're providing patients with other benefits that they don't receive normally, that is one of the added benefit of getting involved in a concierge medical practice.
Mm-hmm. We have about 2 minutes. I thought that because GI is also very much more specialized. It's probably
But what I was going to say is with GI, just to wrap it up,
definitely.
that anyone can see me for gastro. As long as, it's better if they're on a plan. They don't have to be on one of the health insurance plans. But anyone can see me for GI because I'm doing gastro the same as any other gastroenterologist in the community. Although I like to think I still provide more time for those patients. But for GI, anyone can see me. They don't have to pay an annual fee to be a gastroenterology patient in my practice.
That's fantastic. So we're going to go on the speed round. We got about a minute and 15 seconds left. Are you bilingual / trilingual?
I'm unilingual.
I thought you speak Spanish and Italian as well. A little bit?
Well, I
Paquito?
have people in the office that speak more than one language.
Okay, there we go. Hey, that's the office. 561-395-5204 is the office. One more. Which one will I pick? What are your hobbies and passions outside of medicine?
Piano.
Oh, nice.
So my daughter got married a couple of months ago, and me and my two brothers, who are also musicians, we played together at the wedding, which was
Nice.
fabulous.
They'll
And
never forget that either.
used to play some basketball until I had surgery on my knee, and then we love to go out to Colorado and do some hiking and biking, a little bit of skiing.
Nice.
So yeah, I like outdoor activities, and I love reading history, political science, and hanging out with my wife and my family.
Me too. We'll talk about that. I'm a minor in history. I want to thank you so much, though, for coming on the show and explaining so much.
My pleasure. You're terrific.
You're
host,
always
and I
welcome.
Loved being here. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422 and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not